Tonight at 5, a new men's shelter opens its doors to the Madison community this week. A closer look at what the shelter is offering.
Plus, a new Marquette Law School poll was released today. We'll see how the candidates are doing.
President Biden says deadly Russian airstrikes in Ukraine are beyond the pale. It's a war of words as Russia calls recent comments from President Biden harmful and provocative. You're watching News 3 now at 5. A Sun Prairie teacher is now facing criminal charges.
He was arrested last week for allegedly recording students in a school bathroom. 34-year-old Matthew Quaglieri has been charged with 3 counts of child porn production. Investigators say he filmed students in a bathroom at Prairie View Middle School where he taught. The district has suspended him as the investigation continues. Police are investigating whether there are any other victims. Anyone with information should call police. A pedestrian remains in critical condition tonight after they were hit by a car on Madison's west side. It happened at the intersection of Mineral Point and South High Point roads just after 6:30 last night. Police say the vehicle was traveling south on High Point Road when it struck the person who was traveling west on Mineral Point Road. The driver is cooperating with the investigation. The crash happened in the same area where a bicyclist was hit and killed earlier this year.
Day 5 of the Darrell Brooks trial cut short today after a tornado warning in Waukesha County. The day started with testimony from Stephanie and Adam Bonesteel, who were participating in the parade when Brooks drove through. They told the jury they remembered headlights coming toward them and then Brooks' SUV hitting Stephanie's coworker Jane Kulik, who later died. Heather Ricciati also testified. She and her 3 children were watching the parade that day. One of her sons, a 5-year-old, was hit by the SUV and needed stitches. She described what she witnessed.
It was coming faster than any parade float should have been coming, so it was confusing, and I didn't know what was happening at the time, but it did veer into the crowd just right in front of me where my son got hit.
Testimony will resume tomorrow morning. You can follow along and watch a live stream of the trial at channel3000.com and on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Chilly temperatures return for most of the week. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalte now with the latest from the weather patio. Gary?
Yeah, those chilly temperatures are blowing in from the west, the same system that brought the severe weather to the southeastern portion of the state and did bring several reports of brief tornado touchdowns and some strong winds, mainly just east of our viewing area. But you can see several tornado reports in parts of Jefferson and Walworth County into Racine County. One of the reports just east of Whitewater, brief tornado touchdown. Nothing as far as major damage, but there were some trees and power lines that were knocked down by the strong winds. Now, that line of showers and storms is out into Michigan. The next line is coming in from the west and probably will have some gusty winds as it moves through this evening. We'll zoom in, and you can see even a little bit of lightning up in northern portions of Juneau and Adams counties, but we could see some strong winds. 6-hour future track radar shows the fast movement of the showers moving on through, and we're already seeing some strong wind gusts to about 30 to 40 miles per hour through Grant and Richland counties out to the west of Madison. Current temperatures 59 in Madison. Those temperatures are starting to fall out to the west of us, and as we zoom into Dane County, you can see while Madison's at 59, it's 60 in Middleton, 60 in Belleville, and 60 in Mount Horeb. Look for temperatures to slowly fall into the upper 40s. The showers will move through early this evening, and then we'll see the winds die down later on tonight. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes much colder weather for the rest of the week.
All right, Gary, thank you. It is only a matter of time, as Gary was just saying, before temperatures drop to frigid lows. The city of Madison has worked hard all year to win that race, and tomorrow they'll cross the finish line. Tahalil Moeddin takes us inside the new temporary men's shelter.
Down to the final finishing touches.
I think we're right on time.
Madison's engineering staff is turning space on Zaire Road, where people once shopped, into a place where they can safely sleep. It took about $1 million in renovations. Challenging work that began in February.
A lot of mold, kind of an old, it had been vacant, kind of an old, tired space.
The previous shelter on First Street is set to close to make room for the long-delayed Madison Public Market. Community Development Director Jim O'Keefe says knowing about that project early gave them a head start on the work here.
We want to do the best that we can in serving a population in our community who who are at a point in their lives where they're very vulnerable.
The temporary men's shelter will feature better bathrooms with private showers and lockers. It will also have space for one-on-one meetings, isolation, and recovery rooms to take in people who are sick or under the influence.
We want a space that is humane, that treats them well.
Starting Thursday, the shelter will serve as many as 200 men, with room for growth to accommodate the rise in people in need of shelter in Madison. Porchlight has run the city's shelter program for decades. In the summer, Porchlight often helps about 60 people. But in 2002, that number has never fallen below 100, hitting a peak at 207.
Look at the price of the goods and gas and the things that people are spending their money on. I mean, we're talking very low income people, and all those increase in costs for housing. Who can afford housing in Madison?
It's a demand for shelter they expect will only increase with the cold weather. In Madison, Tahlil Muhiddin, News 3 Now.
The location on Zaire Road will likely house the men's shelter for about 3 years until the city completes its build for the permanent shelter on Bartolin Drive. We are seeing an incredibly tight race when it comes to the race for governor here in Wisconsin. Meanwhile, today, perhaps a widening race for U.S. Senate.
The latest Marquette poll always provides interesting nuggets. It also requires some context. And here to explain is political reporter Will Canalte. Will?
So it's the same narrative that we've seen in a lot of these polls. The governor's race is incredibly close. Governor Tony Evers is up over his challenger Tim Michels by 1 point, which is within the margin of error. But today's poll shows Ron Johnson is up over challenger Mandela Barnes 52-46, which is more than the 4-point margin of error. Barnes was hot out of the gates with a big lead over Johnson this summer after the primary, but that lead has since evaporated. Now Johnson has a consistent lead over Barnes. It's a shift in momentum, but not an immovable one, according to UW-La Crosse's Anthony Chergosky.
While Ron Johnson clearly has the momentum, it's not enough momentum to effectively conclude the race right now. Ron Johnson has the edge, but it's not enough of an edge to guarantee him a win on Election Day.
So he says Barnes can turn it around, but there's obviously not a lot of time to do so. Chergosky also pointed to the attack ads in the race as having a significant effect. Barnes' favorability numbers have dropped off, meaning that the attacks could be working. This is the second to last Marquette poll this year. We'll have one more coming up the first week of November.
All right, Will, thank you. And a reminder, Governor Evers and Michels will face off this Friday in their first and only televised debate before the election. It'll be held right here in the News 3 Now studio, and you can watch it here on Channel 3 or on our live stream at channel3000.com starting at 7. Wisconsin Department of Administration Secretary-designee Kathy Blumenfeld toured a small business in Madison today to highlight some of the state's investments. Governor Evers has invested more than $40 million in the city's small businesses as part of overall pandemic relief efforts. Blumenfeld said helping our small businesses and local neighborhoods thrive has been a central accomplishment for the Evers administration. Overall investments supporting small businesses have totaled more than $1 billion statewide. $500 a month won't make anyone rich, but it could make a big difference for more than 150 families in Madison.
Those families received the first of 12 monthly payments today. Andrew Banstra shows us how the city intends to keep the pilot program going. Andrew?
Providing these payments requires a good chunk of money, nearly $1 million worth. But it's not the city's money. Instead, it's all from private donations. To qualify, people had to have a household income under 200% of the federal poverty line. Madison received 3,000 applicants from eligible families for this program. The city then randomly selected 155 families. Mayor Rhodes Conway says similar programs aimed at decreasing poverty exist around the country.
You know, our goal is not necessarily to have Madison run its own program in perpetuity, but rather to have the federal government adopt this as an approach to ending poverty.
This isn't just a novelty thing. The University of Pennsylvania will analyze data from the program, hoping its research pushes the federal government to do as Rhodes Conway suggests, take over the program. Now, we won't know for a while how people in Madison will spend their $500 a month allotment. However, other programs show that families spent 68% of their money on food and goods.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Ukraine's president is asking the World Bank for more resources as Russia ramps up attacks on the country.
The plea comes as tensions rise between Russia and the U.S. Skylar Henry has the latest.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is urging the World Bank to help rebuild his country and win the war against Russia.
Terror has to lose. Ukraine has to win.
He's asking for billions to restore schools, hospitals, damaged transportation, and energy infrastructure in damaged housing. As he left for Colorado this morning, President Biden blasted Russia for its latest bombings of civilian infrastructure in Ukraine.
Beyond the pale.
That statement follows the president's interview on CNN, in which he issued a pointed warning to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the use of nuclear weapons.
He, in fact, cannot continue with impunity to talk about the use of a tactical nuclear weapon as if that's a rational thing to do. The mistakes get made, and the miscalculation could occur. No one can be sure what would happen, and it could end in Armageddon.
The president said he does not believe Putin will resort to nuclear tactics, but he said it's irresponsible for Putin to talk about it. The Kremlin fired back Wednesday morning, calling the president's interview both harmful and provocative. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in Brussels for a meeting with NATO defense ministers echoed the president's assessment.
Putin's saber-rattling is reckless. Nuclear saber-rattling is reckless and irresponsible. We don't expect to see and hear that kind of behavior from a major nuclear power.
Ukraine says since Monday, more than 100 Russian missiles have rained down on the country, following an explosion over the weekend that heavily damaged a bridge that connects Russia to Crimea. Austin promised to continue to boost Ukraine's defensive capabilities for both its most urgent needs and for the long haul. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Ukraine has received the first of 4 shipments from Germany, and U.S. leaders are working to speed up delivery of its advanced air defense systems.
The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol will hold a public hearing tomorrow. Now, this time, there will not be witnesses appearing in person. The hearing will feature new testimony and evidence. Multiple sources say it'll serve as a closing argument ahead of the November midterm. The committee is expected to focus on former President Trump's continued efforts to claim that the 2020 election was stolen. CBS will air a special report on the hearings tomorrow at noon, and you can watch our noon broadcast on Channel 3.
The FDA is giving emergency use authorization to updated COVID boosters for kids as young as 5. Like the boosters that became available for people 12 and older in September, they target the original coronavirus strain and the Omicron BA4 and 5 subvariants. The CDC must now recommend the shots to that age group before they can be administered.
Temperatures are cooling down. Gary has our complete forecast next at 5.
Plus, as the Federal Reserve works to bring down inflation, why some economists say their moves could lead to a recession. And later, communities in Florida are still cleaning up after Hurricane Ian devastated the state. Tonight at 6, we'll check in with some Wisconsin volunteers who are helping them recover.
And the midweek markets on Wall Street trading marginally lower. The Dow Jones falls 28. The Nasdaq loses 9. The S&P 500 closes down a dozen. We'll be right back.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Update your home at Menards. Our great selection of Lion showers, bathtubs, and surrounds are a great way to start your remodel. You're sure to find the perfect one to fit your style and budget. Get 11% off all Lions products. Continue the update with Great Lakes Vinyl Plank flooring. It's durable, waterproof, and easy to install, making it the perfect floor for a bathroom or any room in your home. Get 11% off all Great Lakes flooring.
Save big money at Menards.
Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Wisconsin crews return from disaster-stricken areas in Florida. News 3 now highlights their experiences from the calamity caused by Hurricane Ian.
Then Ron Johnson has been accused of flooding the streets with guns. We'll put those claims through a reality check. That's tonight at 6.
Madison schools are getting playground makeovers.
Kind of makes me feel like you're running on a wall.
Chris Stanford finds out where the funds came from and how the upgrades are impacting students both on and off the wood chips. Eye on Education, Thursday on News 3 Now at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
More grim news for the economy. A key measure of inflation is rising faster than expected.
Isabel Rosales explains what it means for your wallet.
The Labor Department reporting a larger than expected increase Wednesday in the Producer Price Index. The report gauges prices paid for goods and services before they reach you, the consumer. Energy was up a little under 1% in September. Food prices jumped 1.2%. And services are up about 0.5%. While these increases represent the wholesale prices, they are likely to be passed on to the consumers in the form of higher grocery prices.
Historical experience suggests that the kind of inflation we have rarely returns to normal levels, to target levels of around 2%, without some kind of recession.
The fight to bring down decades-high inflation has become a major concern for the Federal Reserve. The central bank has been hiking interest rates at an unprecedented pace in an effort to cool down the economy. But there are concerns that it's happening too fast and could soon lead to a recession.
No. Look, they've been saying this now every 6 months they say this.
President Joe Biden remains confident in the economy.
I don't think there will be a recession. If it is, it'll be a very slight recession.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Now, a CNN poll indicated 78% of Americans consider the economy to be either poor or very poor, but almost half also expect the economy to be much better a year from now. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalte joining us. Gary?
Yeah, an interesting early afternoon. We had a line of thunderstorms just before noon moving through the far eastern portions of Jefferson County into Walworth County and parts of Rock County. And there were some brief tornado spin-ups in here. If you look at the wind velocity around that time, you can see these little swirls right on the front edge of that strong wind gust that came through the Whitewater area and into parts of Walworth and Jefferson and Waukesha County. Then eventually it moved eastward, producing 59-mile-an-hour wind gusts at Mitchell Field, Milwaukee, and a couple more tornado touchdowns into parts of Racine and Kenosha counties. And you can see, again, right on the leading edge of that strong wind burst, there were these little spin-ups that caused at least a little bit of damage, mainly trees and power lines down. But that line of storms has raced off to the east. Now we have a second line of showers with a couple of isolated thunderstorms moving eastward. It doesn't look too impressive, but it is bringing some strong wind gusts. You can see on Doppler track how quickly the first line of storms move through and the second line of showers moving in just as quickly. So anytime you see fast movement on showers and storms like that, you have the potential for at least some strong wind gusts. And the showers that are moving through southern Wisconsin right now will race out across Lake Michigan by late this evening. So because of that, we have to watch out at least for the possibility for some strong winds. Three things you need to know. We'll see a period of gusty winds and showers this evening. Could see some wind gusts of 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour. Then it'll turn breezy and chilly. High temperatures only upper 40s for tomorrow and around 50 degrees on Friday. Will be dry this weekend and through all of next week, but temperatures will be below normal. Highs only in the 40s and lower 50s. On Weather Track, there's actually a very strong low pressure system aloft that's swinging the jet stream around and blasting that cold front through with a trough of low pressure behind it. That's what's generating the showers and also the strong winds. But right now it looks like the temperatures are starting to cool off to our north and west. More significant cooling is back to the north and west, north of the U.S.-Canadian border. That'll be in here by the end of the week. Planning your night, low temperature 41 Madison, 41 Middleton, 40 in Verona with partly cloudy skies. Again, a possibility for a shower this evening. Overnight, 39 in Watertown, 41 in Janesville, and 39 degrees in Platteville. For tomorrow, look for variably cloudy skies. It'll be breezy and colder, high only 47. Just a slight chance for an afternoon shower, and you can see this on Future Track beginning at noon tomorrow. Just a slight chance for an afternoon shower. Most areas will probably stay dry. Then as we clear out, or at least partially clear out tomorrow night, notice the temperature is dropping down to around freezing or just a little bit above or below with the possibility for a widespread frost. And then more clouds on Friday, a slight chance for an afternoon shower, but more clouds than anything else, and high temperatures only in the upper 40s to around 50. Rainfall amounts generally less than 1/10 of an inch. The 7 to 10 day forecast, though, dry but chilly for the weekend and even colder for early next week. Highs lower 40s Monday, mid 40s on Tuesday, and nighttime low temperatures in the upper 20s. Temperatures slowly rebound for the second half of next week. It'll stay dry, but those temperatures are still going to be below normal for this time of year. As we check out first warn traffic right now, on the Beltline, no problems, all green there, and same thing I-39, 90, 94 on the east side of Madison. As far as travel times are concerned, about a 15-minute trip either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. No problems on I-39, 90 from the Beltline to Janesville. 16 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now first warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. Culver's popular Curter Burger returned today for the first time in almost a year. The idea initially started as an April Fool's Day joke, but it became a hit when it was released last October for National Cheese Curd Day. Last year, it was only available for one day, and that prompted long lines at restaurants around the country. The burger features a butter burger topped with a large cheese curd shaped like a patty. This year, the burger is available through the end of October or as long as supplies last. Speaking of fast food, which national chains are the best for speed and customer service and satisfaction? We'll have the results of a new survey coming up next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Don't like paying taxes? Neither does Mandela Barnes. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes he owed. Barnes failed to pay his taxes, but he wants you to pay more. He supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, even though we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. And he supported a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families and an income tax as high as 70%. Mandela Barnes, another tax-raising, hypocritical politician. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
People remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Good times insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A new survey ranks the nation's top drive-through restaurants for speed, accuracy, and overall satisfaction.
Now, we should point out this was a national survey, so your favorites may have different results locally. Taco Bell topped QSR Magazine's annual drive-through survey for speed of service with an average wait time of just under 4 minutes. Dunkin' Donuts and KFC came in second and third, while Chick-fil-A was the slowest, in part because of its popularity.
The line is way too long. If I just go in, then you could just relax and I have to go through all people cutting you off.
Yeah, he just went in for his sandwich. Now, Chick-fil-A was tops in customer satisfaction, third straight year, and also was best in friendliest service, and they just ranked the biggest 10 national chains. So, for example, you Curter Burger lovers, Culver's was not included in that survey. Gary's back. Final check, your first warn forecast after a short break.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports, such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm from Wisconsin, and I am a Republican. Tim Michaels is way too extreme for Wisconsin, and that is a huge concern in the state. Another consideration for Tim Michaels is that he would overturn Wisconsin's vote in the 2020 election. That is another mark against Tim Michaels. I think he's too extreme for this state.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Vitense Golfland offers 2 golf and multi-sport simulator suites. Play great golf courses with unmatched viewing clarity. Play different sports, such as football and soccer. Have fun with Zombie Ball. Vitense Golfland provides simulator fun for everyone.
We've got a lot of news tonight. The nationwide spike in RSV cases. What parents need to know about the respiratory illness that's striking children. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And back to Gary we go. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, another line of gusty showers will be rolling on through. There's the live view from the Quimby Radio Sky Cam in Platteville. You can see how it's kind of dark there. Not a lot of rain falling, although the showers are starting to increase, and you're even seeing a couple of flashes of lightning up in northern Adams County. But you can see how quickly they'll move through with 6-hour future track radar, and they're already bringing strong winds right along that line of showers. You can see wind gusts up to about 40 miles an hour in Platteville and in Boscobel. So be prepared for some gusty showers to roll on through this evening, and then after that we turn colder.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. That time of the year, things are changing. We're back in 30 minutes. News 3 now at 6. CBS Evening News is now.